to me on Facebook if you so wish. Now, if you had a new book out, like your first novel, well, it's a great achievement having a novel published, but how would you celebrate? Probably a glass of champagne, maybe some canapes, a book launch down at Blackwell's or the Story Museum, I don't know. Well, Nick Cook from Oxford, the author, isn't doing any of that. No, to celebrate the birth of his first novel, it's called Cloud Riders, by the way, he treated himself to a tornado generator. It's in the studio with me now, and watch out, here's a warning for you, a weather warning. We're about to generate a tornado. Hello, Nick.
Hi there, Malcolm.
Hi, lovely to see you. Is that it? The tornado generator?
That's the beast.
That's it. Why on earth would you buy that?
Why not? Basically, it's a fantastic device for capturing the imagination, especially of kids.
Yeah.
You know, taking this into schools, you can imagine their reaction when I switch this on and lo and behold, in their classroom, a tornado spout appears.
So you're going to create a tornado in this studio between now and past?
I think we have to. Really.
I think we've got to. I didn't even know you could buy tornado generators. Are they freely available?
Well, you won't. Neither did I. And I thought, well, I'll just do one of those internet searches, just in case somebody's actually developed something like this, and lo and behold, they had. And they use this in classrooms in the United States to basically teach the pupils about twisters and twister formation, because obviously it's a very real threat in Tornado Alley.
Describe it for our listeners. You'll do that better than me because you've had more chance to look at it.
Okay, so, right, what we have at the base is a mister, and what that does is it condenses the water vapour into fog or clouds. And the second part to this sort of device is at the very top there are two fans, and it creates a counterclockwise column of air which draws water vapour up, and lo and behold, you get a twister.
You get your twister right before your very eyes. It's about a couple of foot high, it's cylindrical, it's black, and I can see it's bubbling away at the bottom. And that's where the mist will form and create our tornado later on.
That's right.
You take this to schools, don't you, Nick?
I do. And and of course, the first thing all the kids want to do is put the hand in the twister.
I wanted to do that.
Yes.
Can you?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay, that's safe, is it? He bought this to celebrate the launch of his first novel. It's called Cloud Riders. Many congratulations on that.
Great, many thanks.
Tell me about the book.
Great. Well, Cloud Riders is set in Tornado Alley, and it's centred around a storm-chasing family. And it starts off with a slightly tragic element because Dom's father, a storm chaser, was lost a year previously when a massive twister hit. And then it's been very strange ever since. There's been massive dust storms across the US, and the weather patterns have been badly disrupted, and no more twisters. And then 1 year later to the day, another tornado hits, and out of it flies an airship.
Oh, now then. Is this a kid's book, or is it an adult's book, or is it one of those crossover novels?
Now this is where we've been really, really lucky. When you write the book that has to be sort of true to the story, and you always hope it will actually be exactly that, a crossover, a story which will appeal to both children and adults, and that's exactly what we're finding.
Oh, good.
And we've been getting fantastic feedback. I mean, it's oxygen to the lungs of an author to hear the sort of things I've been hearing.
Oh, that's great. What's a bloke from Oxfordshire doing? A bloke who got a sculpture degree and was a big noise, a big success in the computer game industry. What are you doing, Nick, writing novels? Have you always wanted to write?
Absolutely. And it's, I've had quite an interesting life, I suppose. But I think you could probably trace it back all the way to my childhood and witnessing Neil Armstrong walking on the moon.
Yeah.
And I think for any kid who grew up during that era, it was such an inspirational time to be alive, to sort of witness that incredible event and hear those immortal words. And that's really fired up a sort of passion about science and science fiction. And of course, naturally, I read lots of science fiction, and that in turn has never left me. So that really ignited the spark of my love of writing. And ever since, I've written, short stories and poems. And then Yes, I was art director in 2 game studios I helped to found. And then basically 7 years ago, I got one of those rare opportunities in life to actually pursue my dreams. And I did exactly that. I left my game studio that I'd founded,
Really?
and I became a full-time writer. Mad, you might say.
Yeah, mad, I was just going to say.
But I think when you do have those opportunities, you have to grab them in both hands, because otherwise you'll always be looking in the rear view mirror at that past decision and just wondering, what if?
Yes. Well, it's all very well sitting down and writing. We can all do that. But being a successful writer, getting published is another thing. Can you remember the moment when you discovered that this book was actually going to happen as a publication?
I can, and it's such a powerful moment, so close to my heart, that I can honestly say, when the email, and it was via email, it came in and Three Hairs, the publisher, said they wanted to publish Cloud Riders. It was, time stood still.
Oh.
And it was just because it's very hard to get a publishing deal today. And when you really strive for something for so long, so I've been writing by that point for 7 years.
Yes.
And when it actually happens, you can't quite believe it. And it was fantastic. It really was a dream come true.
And what about now? Here it is. I've got it in my hand. Here it is. This is your baby. This is.
And that's just the other magical part. And this sounds crazy. When you write, you're doing it for you to start with. But what is wonderful is when something you create connects with the reader.
Yeah.
And that honestly makes all of those years of trying to get that breakthrough worth it, because when what's been in my imagination fires up the imagination of a reader, and they enthuse about it, and they tell me things about the story that I never realised, and it takes on a life of its own, then you know you've got something special, and it's wonderful.
You've already done number 2, because this is a 3-parter.
Yep.
Isn't it? So number 2's already done, so you're working already on number 3.
That's right.
Do you feel pressurised because you've got a success under your belt and you've got to do it all over again, and then again?
Well, no, because this has been part of my life now,
Yes.
these books, for a number of years. So they're like old friends. And all I do when I write is I slip back into that universe, set in the novel. I'm immediately in my happy place. So the pressure is only one of doing justice to the story, and that will come. I just, now actually with book 3, I can take my time and make it just so, because that's maybe the important thing. If you're writing a trilogy, you mustn't let the readers down with that last book, and it really needs to deliver all the promise of the previous book. So I hope.
I can tell you love it. Shall we fire up the tornado generator?
I think it'd be a great time to do that.
Tell us what you're doing as you talk us through it, if you like.
Right.
So he's stepped away from the microphone now. Go on.
Okay, so basically, we've had the mist sort of running away, and we've got like this sort of thick layer of fog over the base of the studio now.
We have, yeah.
Yeah, and
Imagine it at home.
and so what we're going to do is turn on the two fan units, which will create a wind vortex, which will then suck up the water vapour.
Okay.
So we'll get a little bit noisy.
That's good. I like noise. We've never had this on BBC Radio Oxford before. We're going to create a tornado in the studio. Yeah, press the button.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. So watch out. This is officially a weather warning. He presses the button, and immediately you can see the mist turning around and whirling around and twisting and turning and making its way up the cylinder, and you've created an instant tornado. Imagine tornadoes in film or on the television. We have one of those in front of us in this studio. It's quite a thing, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, all you're missing are the trees flying around it, really.
Well, what happened if you put your hand in? Go on, put your hand in.
Hang on, I'll just sort of brace myself, hang on to the desk.
Putting his hand in. Okay. Do you get Oh, you don't get blown away.
No, thankfully.
No, there you go.
What happens is the actual vortex, the twister, collapses as soon as the airflow is interrupted. And of course, the other thing that all the kids ask when they see this machine is, what does it feel like? Because everybody has this desire to touch a twister.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And
Well, you don't get the chance very often, do you?
don't.
No, not indoors.
And basically, it's nothing. It feels like fog.
Okay.
That's the sensation.
It's a great bit of kit, isn't it? And a great effect as well. Tornadoes very, very much at the heart of Nick Cook's book and Twisters. It's called Cloud Riders. It's got a good reaction, you know. You can find it on Amazon. And good luck with the book number 2, which I know is already at the publishers, and book number 3, which is, if not on paper, inside that young-looking head of yours.
Indeed it is.
Great stuff, Nick. Thank you very much indeed. You may deactivate the tornado.
Okay.
Whew, I enjoyed that. It's 11:20 now. Thank you, Nick.